Hello guys, welcome to our channel once again. So today we are going to talk about Azure Data Factory and the repository which you are going to use with this to make use of it for automated deployment and your development. So Azure Data Factory is slightly different from your other kinds of tools or the project which you might be using in C#, Java or some other places, because Azure Data Factory is an JSON based code which it develops, and it's a that it's orchestration platform where you can do all your drag and drop things, but at the end of the day it creates an ARM template which gets deployed. So it is quite different from others, and it has a lot of things which are not very clear just by looking at it. Okay, so we'll see all the things here, how you can configure it, how you can create an automated deployment pipeline, how you can promote your code from one environment to other environment seamlessly. We'll see how you can enable the continuous integration and deployment. Okay, so let's get started with a flow diagram which I have created. So it's a typical flow diagram which normally we use as a standard. So what it will happen is you will have a dev branch or the develop branch, whatever you want to call. So all the development should start from here, and this develop branch will actually be integrated with your Azure Data Factory. You can call it as a dev data factory. Okay, so anytime a new development has to happen, all the developers from your team will create a feature branch from here. There can be one feature or there can be more than one feature branch. So once the unit testing is completed in the feature branch, that has to be merged to develop branch using a PR where you'll do your reviews. Okay, so once it is been integrated in a develop, this will get published to your data factory. So once it gets published, what automatically it does is it creates an ARM template, and that gets actually published to ADF underscore publish branch. And this is a special branch which gets created automatically. So we'll see all this in action. Just 30 more seconds here. Once the ARM template has been published here, we can make use of these ARM template to deploy to various different various different environment of your data factory using our CI/CD or the release pipeline. So let me quickly jump into one of the Azure Data Factory which I already have it. So this is a data factory which is, we call it data factory SH1. Right now, if you see here, you don't have a repository configured, so you'll get an option here to set up a code repository. This is just one of the options. You can actually do it from the home page also. So there are 2 or 3 different ways you can do it, but let's try it. Okay, yeah, here you see in the home page also you have set up code repository. At the same time, you can also do it from your manage here Git configuration, and this can also be done at the time of creating Azure Data Factory. Because it's already created, we'll do it here. Okay, I'll go through each step by step and explain you everything about this. So once you click on configure, you will see 2 options, Azure DevOps Git and the GitHub. Because we are going to use Azure DevOps, I'll select first one. Now the default directory. Now there is nothing here, you have to click on the continue button. Now it will ask you to select the repository. So you may have multiple repository in your account. So I'm selecting the one which I need. Then you'll have project name and repository. Sorry, the first one was organization actually, not the repository. You may have multiple organization here, then the project and repository. In my case, project name and repository name is same, but you may have a different one. Now this is the important thing, collaboration branch. So here you may give it this one a different name, not necessarily it has to be ADF dev. You can give develop or you can give any name here. So this has to be your collaboration branch from where we will do the publish. So that's the importance of this. Once you do all this configuration, you cannot publish any code from any other branch. This can be done only from this branch. That is the significance of this. Now a bit of a confusion here, or I would say publish branch. I tried changing this ADF underscore publish to some other branch. Though here it does not show any error or anything, it just quietly accept that. But once you move out of it, actually it changes to ADF underscore publish. So don't make any change here. Let it be ADF underscore publish. Now this is another important thing, the root folder. So many people get confused here what to put. Here I'll tell you the significance of this. I have one of the repository. Let me open. Yeah, if you see here, if you give a root folder slash, right, there is nothing. If you don't put anything, what will happen is all your component of Azure Data Factory will directly get listed here like this. Data set, integration, runtime, link service, pipeline. Now what will happen is if I put Data Factory here like this, it will go, all my components will go inside this. Now you see there are two different root structure or the tree structure you can see. That is because of this. So once I had, what I had done is for the same branch I had put root directory as slash, and the second time I had done is Data Factory. So this is the importance of this. This is up to your design how you want to do it. If you want to have it another folder or at a root level, you can do it. Or if you don't want, if your repository is only for Data Factory, you can skip this. You can keep it as slash. I would recommend it to keep it slash if you have a dedicated repository for this. Yeah, now comes another thing. Here there is a checkbox called import existing resources to repository. So what is the importance of this is, if you have already developed some pipelines in your Data Factory before you configure a repository, you can copy this, all this component or the your pipeline and all the things into your repository using this. If you don't want your repository to get this, then you will have to uncheck it. In this case, I had already created this repository for this Data Factory, so my codes are in sync. So I'll still say it's a import existing resources. So let it be and click on apply. Yeah, so it is configuring. I'll pause the video and restart it once it is done. Yeah, so it is complete. Now it is saying repo connected. See in the background you can see some of the things are still getting synced. Now you can see all the thing here. So this shows that now we are connected. If you want to disconnect, here is again a button. If you want to disconnect, here you have to give your Data Factory name and you can disconnect. It will not do it now. I'm just showing it. Okay. So now we are connected to it. Now you can see all the branches which we have in your repository. It will get listed here. Now let's try to do one thing. Suppose you are starting your new sprint. You want to make some change. So what is the first thing your team should do is you should go to the branches and create a new branch from ADF tab. Let's give it a name feature 1. So once it is created, I'll refresh it and we'll change the branch here. Let me see if it is created. Yeah, it is created. You can see here. Yeah, so let us see if that is listed. Yes, it is listed. Now I'm making a change. So I'm hoping that you are aware of the basic Azure repository configurations and the best practices, how you create a branch. So I'm not going into that. I'm just going into how you are going to use those branches here for your deployment. Now we are into feature 1 branch. Now let's quickly add one pipeline. Yeah, so I think this pipeline was already there. Let's remove that. We'll give it a name. No, feature. I'll just put a dummy activity. Let's create one variable so that we can set it. Okay, I'll say why it's not coming. Sorry, I had added a parameter instead of simple. Now you can see here. Okay. So my development is done here. Now what is the next step I need to do? I'll have to raise a PR. So you can do it from here as well, and you can do it directly from the repository. Let's do it here. So one more thing I would show before we create a PR. This is a feature from IDF. Now we are in the feature branch, right? Now you can see this publish is disabled. You cannot publish anything from here. You can see what it is written. Publish is only allowed from collaboration, which is ADF underscore dev branch. So nobody from your team can publish from here. Okay. So how can we publish it? We can publish only from ADF dev. But before that, I'll have to merge my changes. So I have one pipeline new feature. I remove one existing one. Let me raise a PR. Approve. So one more best practice here is for your team, always set a branch policy here. We'll see it later in the video. So approved it. Say complete. Merge. I'll keep it. I am not deleting it, though it's best practice to delete. Let it merge, and then we'll refresh our video. Yeah, so merging is completed. What we'll do now next is we'll switch our branch here to ADF underscore dev. Before that, what I'll do is I have created some pipelines. So let me see if those are disabled. Otherwise it will try to deploy. We'll see how we'll configure all these things in a while. Okay, so let it be even if it is there. I have deleted the new data factory where it is supposed to deploy. Anyways, that would be. Now we are in ADF underscore dev branch. Okay. Now you see, notice that publish is enabled, but before that, let's validate that the change which we did is here. Yeah, you can see in ADF dev. Now I can see my pipeline here, right? Yeah. So let us publish this. It is publishing. While it is publishing, it will also generate a template. So it has identified the changes. Click on OK. We'll have to wait for a while here. Let us see. Okay, it is still publishing. And now you can see publishing completed. It's generating a template. Now let's open our branch to see how it works. So I'll show you how it is automatically publishing template into ADF underscore publish branch. Okay, it is successful. Yeah, you can see there is ARM template which is just now generated here, but you can also see one of my pipeline has already triggered. So let us go here and cancel it. So now what all thing we have completed is we created a feature branch, we made our changes, we did a PR to our ADF underscore dev branch that got merged. We came to our Azure Data Factory, we switched the branch to our collaboration branch, we published it. Once we publish, the ARM template is generated. Okay. Now our purpose is to automatically deploy the same change to a new environment. Suppose that is our test environment. So for that you need to have a different data factory. So what we'll do is we'll quickly create one test data factory. So I'll fast forward this video. I'll not go into the details of that to save your time. You can see here, this is what I was talking about. At the time of creating ADF also we can do it. So here we'll skip this. We don't want to configure. We create, let it validate. Now I'm creating it. So why I'm creating this data factory is for the first deployment, it needs to have a existing data factory. It cannot create a data factory and deploy it. So deployment will only take the ARM template and deploy to the data factory where whichever name we give. So by the time it is creating, we'll go and we'll start our DevOps pipeline creation. So for that again, there are different ways to create a pipeline. One is a classic way and one is a YAML way. So if you click on the pipelines here, you create new pipeline, and here you will see the options. So you can see where is your code. It says Azure Repository, Git YAML, Bitbucket, all this option. But we will use a classic editor. Though I'll tell you one more thing. The recommended way from Azure is to go with the YAML code, because YAML gives you more flexibility, more control. But if you are new to this, you have not done this before, let's go with the classic editor. I'll tell you how we can do the YAML way as well. Yeah, here you will see these options. So right now our code is in Azure Repo Git. So we will select this, select your project repository the same way, and then here choose ADF underscore publish, because this is where our ARM template resides. You can continue. Now here choose empty job. Okay, so here you can keep these things as is, default one. As in job one, we will add a task which will be template, search for ARM template deploy. Click on add. Now here we'll be configuring it. So choose your resource subscription. Create or update resource group, which is correct. Now let's choose the resource group name, location. Let me quickly double check what was the location. Okay, something went wrong. Let me quickly check it and fix it. So it is saying this name is already in use, so I'll create a new one with a different name. Okay, so there were some issues in that. What I'm doing is I'm using one of my existing Azure Data Factory which I already had created. So there was some pipeline which I removed it. So now it is completely empty. All the pipeline data set, everything is deleted. So this is the one which we will use for deployment. Now let's go back to our pipeline where we were configuring. So this is one, yeah. So yeah, you have already populated this based on your subscription. Now let's choose the resource group. You need to make sure that resource group which you have your data factory, that should be selected here if you're using multiple resource group. So this is what my, yeah, then the location, this is West US for me. I'll select West US. Now this is the important part, template location, leave this, and now here you have to browse the template. Now this will show you the folder structure which you have for your branch ADF underscore publish, because that is what we configured, right? And this is the ARM template which you want to deploy. So you need to select this one. Then you have to select your parameters. Sorry. There are two important things. One is your ARM template, then other is parameter. Both of them are in the same place. So one is your template of data factory, another is parameter. So parameters are very important. We'll show you here. You can override your parameter in the template, because when you're promoting your our code from one environment to other, your links will change, right? Suppose you are using a Azure Data Lake Gen 2, you want to use one data lake for dev environment, another for your test environment or for UAT, right? So right now here the factory name, right? Now where do you want to deploy? So that data factory name should come here. So let me replace this with data factory and hyphen new user one. Make sure your case and everything matches. So I'll keep rest of the things same. Let's change this one. Though it may not be the valid storage name, but I'll just show you for the demo purpose. Right now in our existing data factory, this link service is pointing to storage ESH2. What I'll do is I'll rename it to storage ESH2 hyphen test, and then we'll see whether it is reflecting or not. Okay. And this we are doing for the link service, which is Azure Data Lake Storage 1. Okay. Now we are good. We have changed the factory name. We have changed one of the parameters here. This should get overwritten. You can give some name to this. You can leave rest of the things. Save. One more important thing is the trigger here. If you want to enable it for continuous integration, you need to go to triggers and enable this. Now you can select the branch and you can even select the path. So leave it as is. Okay. Now we want to test this. So right now what has happened is, because we have already merged it and the code is already available in ADF dev, we will not be able to see the continuous integration. So let's do one thing. We'll run the deployment manually, and then we'll show the continuous integration as well in the second run. So I have triggered this. Let it run. So it is running. It has checked out. Now template deployment is going on. So now my deployment is complete. I'll go back. Let me refresh. Now everything what we had in that ARM template should get deployed here. Yep, you can see that all the pipelines are here. This is a new pipeline which we created. Now let's quickly see the parameter which we had overwritten, right? Which is very important. Now which one we have changed? We have changed Azure Data Lake Storage 1. Okay. Yeah, now you can see clearly this URL has changed. This is what exactly we need when you promote your code from one environment to other. So what we did here, that can be done for each and every link service. Now I'll quickly show how your CI/CD can work. Right now we did a manual trigger, right? So we'll repeat this step. What I'll do is I'll make a small change in the feature branch again, and we'll merge it, and we'll see whether it is triggering it. Correct? So we are in the same pipeline. Again, what I'll do is I'll just create a copy of this, link it, save it. There is a new PR. I'll merge it the way we did last time. Okay, good. Create, proof complete. Now this is our original pipeline, right? So once it is merged, we need to switch back to ADF_dev. Now you can see we have two set variable. Let's publish. Yeah. Now you can see there are two pipeline which is already triggered. This one was my old YAML pipeline. So what I'll do is I'll go ahead and cancel it. So now the only pipeline which is running is the pipeline which we created just now. Now you notice that this is what we did not trigger, but it got triggered automatically. Now what it will do is it will take your ARM template from adf_publish and deploy it to your new data factory. Suppose which you are using for test. Yep, so this is completed. Let me refresh and see whether we have got the new changes. Now you can see how easy it was. In just few steps we have configured our CI/CD. Yeah, now we are in this test data factory and you can see both of my set variable have come. Now this is the CI/CD part. Now let's quickly jump into the release, how you will do the release to other environment as well. So let me go back to my repository. This time we'll select releases and say new release. Here again we'll repeat that step. We have to add an, okay, we'll do empty, let it be as is, add an artifact. Now we already created a build pipeline, so that build pipeline we'll select here. That was this one. Okay. Now under stage you have a job. What we'll do is we'll add a task again. This is exactly same step which we did there. Now here suppose you are going to release this for production, you have to choose your production resource group and your production name. Everything whatever you want to do for production you will choose this. Again the template. Yeah. Now you can see this has slightly changed. So I see I don't see any template available. Let me see, is it because it has not run or did I choose a long build? Let me quickly verify and come back. Yeah, so what we'll do this time is rather than taking from the build, we'll take it directly from the branch because branch has already the same ARM template, and what we can do is we'll replace all the variable which we need at runtime for different environment again the way we did there. So let's take this ADF publish branch again, add it. Here we'll repeat this task. We'll go to template deployment, add. Let's quickly add all our things. Yeah. Yeah. So here we'll choose our template again. No, not this one. What is wrong? I am not seeing my template. Let me double check. Okay, sorry, it was under data factory sh1. Got confused. I'll choose this again. We'll choose our parameter file, which is this, and we'll again repeat this overwrite step here. Here you have to give a data factory name which you need for your production. Suppose this is mine. Okay. And then save. So this will become your release file. You click on create release and then you can release it to your production. So this is the whole process end to end, from your right from creating a feature branch, making the development, creating a PR and everything about this. So I hope I am able to answer some of your questions here, and if you like our video, please like and subscribe and share with your friends. I think one important thing I missed is this deployment mode. So make sure that you are making it incremental, not complete. So if you do a complete, what it will do is it will wipe out all your resources from the resource groups, which is very, very dangerous. Make sure that you make it always incremental. Thank you guys. Thanks for watching. And this was a bit long, but I hope this is useful to you. Thanks. Thank you.